Well, good morning everyone and welcome back to the cabin. I actually have a little project that I need to do before we get started working on the timber frame workshop. I'm going to modify my sawhorse in order to be able to sharpen my tools. So I'll meet you down there. I'm rounding off these corners just a little bit. I'll tell you what, it has rained for, I guess, maybe 4 days straight now. It's supposed to rain for like 4 more. I'm having to kind of figure out some other things to do in the meantime. I can continue to be productive. I actually needed a place that I could sharpen my tools, and I thought, you know what, I could actually modify this workbench for that and have a place that's really handy to sharpen my tools. I'm going to drill some holes and insert some pegs. You'll see how it's going to come together here shortly. I think it's a pretty cool idea. So the weatherman was correct. Okay, just a simple little design right there, but we're fixing to glue some leather onto this block right here, but I'll be able to set that in there, and then that's going to hold it and keep it from moving. That way I can strop, and then I will have a different side on this side right here of the leather, because it's got a rough side and a smooth side, and I'll just be able to flip it over and go. So that's what this is for. This is actually a wet rock. So I've got a 3000 and an 8000. I need to get like a 300 and a 600. That itself will go in there too. Then I can pull this off. I've still got a rubber base on this, and I can be able to sharpen right here. And then once I get that side done, I can flip it over and continue on the finer grit. So let's get that piece of leather glued on, then we will be close to having this little project complete. Then all I have to do is pull those out, and I can still use my vise. Okay, I decided to use some of this Gorilla Glue because I've actually got more of it. Got a little stick here to kind of spread it out. what I'll do is once I get this leather on there, I got a couple more blocks. I'm going to take and sandwich this between them. Okay. We will put our first one on there. Okay, I like that. So now we're going to turn it over. We'll do the same thing to this side. Rub it down real good. Those are the piece of leather. Let's see, we did the finished side, so now we need to do the rough side, don't we? So what we want to do is lay one on here, then we want to lay the other one on top. Then we're going to take this and squeeze it up on there. Alright, while that leather strop is drying, I'm just going to show you that this is going to work out really good. Now you have to soak this thing in water. It's not like the other stone where you can just rub a little oil on it. You soak it in water and you can actually then take your knife and so we will be able to sharpen our knives and we won't have to worry about this thing moving on us. Then also when we get the leather strop on there, we can just strop it back and forth and we can keep our tools nice and sharp. Well folks, I ran into a little problem down here at the Timber Frame Workshop, so I'll meet you down there. So this joint right here was actually cut to fit this joint right here. Well, so what does that mean actually? That means that when I notched that out, I notched it incorrectly because we're replacing that post right there, and I decided to go ahead and have a tenon on the center. That's what I already laid out on the post over there. So I'm going to have to redo this whole beam. I have to use it over there because it is 16 feet and I can trim it down some because this section here is only going to be 12. So this one right here was cut for the front. That was actually the one that goes in the middle. So I've cut another one, and I'm going to hate this worse than you all do, but I am going to have to redo that one. So that's the reason that I cut this one here. Then I've got a log on the sawmill to cut another 6 by 10. And once we get that done, we get all of these hewed out. We get them oiled up, or burned, and then oiled up. We will be ready to start setting this. So let's get busy. I'm certainly glad that I noticed it though before we got any farther, because that would have been messed up trying to set these together and not have the right piece. Alright, that's going to be still 16 feet and 3 inches will be my total length. But I'll actually have a middle tenon instead of one that's offset to the side. So we'll get this thing all marked out. Basically it costs me a day, because it takes a day for about me to work up one of these, get it hewed out and everything. So yep, I'm sure that you don't hate it as nearly as much as I do. So what we want here is a 3-inch tenon. Well, I guess you can tell by the sound that it started raining again, so I decided to come up here and sharpen some tools. And I wanted to show you this shirt that just came in. Funny story behind it, I had went to a funeral this past summer for a family member out of state and seen a cousin that I hadn't seen in a long time, and they were getting ready to go off-grid with a multi-thousand-dollar solar system because they got a 2-story home. They got a great big workshop and a nice garage and so forth, and so they have to have something massive. Anyway, they want to know what we had here, and I told her, I said, you know, this stuff is so expensive. We've been looking around, we're trying to save for one, and hopefully this coming year we'll put one in. Anyway, as we kept talking, they asked us about the channel and everything, and told her that we were thinking up a new shirt idea, you know, to add to our store. She had taken a picture of me while I was there, so a couple months later I get a phone call and an email, and they're like, have you checked the email yet? And I'm like, no. So I went and looked at it, and this is what it was. So the kids and I, we thought, you know what, we'll just go ahead and put that design on a shirt, and all the proceeds that come from this in 2023 and anything else basically that we have in the store will go towards putting in solar and a rain catchment system here at the cabin. So if you guys would like something like this, there will be a link down in the description. You can go down there and check it out, and anything else that's in the store. And like I say, all those proceeds will go to putting in power and water here at the cabin. Anyway, I'll tell you what, this new stone that I've got right here, it is putting a serious edge on these tools. I'll tell you what, it's nothing like having a nice sharp tool to do the job. Now it's a lot easier to get cut, but you don't want to be forcing anything either, because that's when accidents can really happen. Alright, this side gets a 2-inch tenon because it actually will set back in another inch on the lip that I cut out on the post. You know, as I'm building this, I'm thinking about it structurally. This is actually a cross beam. This one laying right here is actually the ridge beam, and there'll be about 2.5 feet separation between the two. I'm going to go ahead and put a small post in here. If I don't do it, it's always hard to add it later in case it needs it, but that will just provide a little bit extra support for the roof, just in case it might need it. I am working right at a knot right here, so it's a little bit difficult to get some of these pieces out of there. Well, I'm actually working on the last mortise here. To get this done, I have to hew these 3 beams. And once we get that done and make some braces, burn these and oil them, we're going to be ready to set. It's going to be good times. The weatherman said it was supposed to rain today. Can you hear that? Anyway, I think we got about 4 or 5 more days of this, which kind of makes it almost impossible to work on that timber frame down there. I just, hit and miss. But I do have a slab of poplar in the sawmill. I've been thinking about making a bookshelf stand for the cabin. And it wasn't that long ago that I kind of made an entertainment stand. So if you haven't seen that, we'd like to invite you to watch that. You can click this icon up here in the top right hand corner. Guys, we certainly do appreciate you stopping by. Thanks for watching. We look forward to seeing you back up here at the cabin again next time.